Have you ever wondered where your career will be in the future? Stay tuned to learn how you can figure it out. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Allen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot one card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to figure out whether a woman's career will be successful. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there is a link below. This question was posted anonymously online by someone who I will call Helen. Her question was, what will my career be like in 5 years? Helen does not give any other details about what kind of work she does or about the relationships in her life. Helen also did not mention using a spread. However, I will be using a 3-card spread to look at her obstacles, opportunities, and outcome. Card number 1 looks at the challenges that Helen will face in her career. She drew the 6 of Pentacles. Card number 2 looks at the opportunities that Helen will face in her career, and she drew the Star. And card number 3 looks at the outcome of her career in 5 years, and Helen drew the 10 of Pentacles. Let's begin by discussing my first impressions. We have the Major Arcana card, which is the Star between 2 Pentacles cards. Pentacles are about practical matters in life, such as work and earning money, so it doesn't surprise me to see Pentacles here. Something I've never noticed is that the stars in the Star card look very similar to the stars in the Pentacle cards, although they have 8 points instead of 5. All of the cards have the same appearance with stars suspended around the card. The Star card has a very different feel than the Pentacles cards. It's the only card with just one person. She's also outdoors, at night, and is naked. She seems to be working very hard compared to the 6 of Pentacles, where she is just standing there doling out coins, and the 10 of Pentacles, where they are partying. Let's look at each card individually. Card number 1 looks at the challenges that Helen will face in her career. She drew the 6 of Pentacles. I think that Helen will face several challenges. The first is that there are many difficult choices to be made. She has limited resources, which might be money, as shown by the coins that she's handing out in this card, or it might be her energy, or both. Helen has to work really hard to be fair about her decisions, as demonstrated by the scales, but things don't always work out fairly. As you can see, one of the people is doing without. The person in blue has holes in his blankets, so he may be more needy, yet the person in yellow is getting all the money. The 6 of Pentacles can also be about decisions that Helen makes in the course of her career. It could be as simple as choices that Helen must make, for instance, about which supplier she would award a contract to, or which advertisement would best sell her products. Or it might be something larger. For example, she's a real estate developer and has to decide between redeveloping Building A or Building B, which could potentially revitalize or destroy a town. Or she's a physician and has to decide whether patient A or patient B will be the best fit for some kind of a clinical drug trial. She might feel like option A is more deserving, yet there are reasons she must choose option B, and I think this will be hard for Helen. Helen might also be forced to make choices about the humans in her business. For instance, she needs to determine which employee would get a raise or a promotion and which one would not. Or she may have to eliminate some positions and decide who was going to get fired. The 6 of Pentacles could also represent challenges that Helen will face in terms of balancing her personal life or her health. I think that the fact she's asking where her career will be in 5 years shows that she's very invested in her career. I can certainly say that career usually wins, at least it did for me, especially when you're trying to get ahead at work. We see Helen looking at the coins in her hand and away from the scales. I think that she will have a tough time balancing work with her personal life and her health. The fact that Helen is not looking at the scales may also show an imbalance of power. Perhaps her manager or her company is not giving her the credit she deserves. She's trying to ignore this and focus on the task at hand, but it might be something that needs to be addressed. It could be that she's doing more than her share of the workload, or that somebody else is taking credit for her work. I believe that another challenge that Helen is facing is imposter syndrome. We see her standing on a stage, which can indicate someone who is acting the part. I started my career as an accountant, and 40 years ago, it was still a male-dominated field. I tried to do everything I could to look and act the part, including wearing suits, back in the day when we had shoulder pads, to try and look more masculine. So I think that Helen will try to do anything possible to fit into her role in her company. The other thing that the stage could represent is that Helen is so focused on her work that she's separated herself from the rest of her life. She's not putting enough effort into her friends and family or into self-care. So maybe she's stopped going to the gym and is skipping Sunday lunch with her family because her life is totally focused on work and getting ahead. In summary, Helen will face several challenges. These include making tough and potentially unfair decisions, dealing with imposter syndrome, and trying to manage her work-life balance. Card number 2 looks at the opportunities that Helen will face in her career. She drew the Star. The Star is a very positive card that represents hope, strength, and being able to bring your dreams into reality. In terms of her career, Helen has the opportunity to be a star. I think that she will overcome the challenges in the previous card and do this on her own terms. This is shown by the fact that Helen is naked. Unlike when she was playing dress-up in the 6 of Pentacles, she is now free of artificial restrictions such as stages and fancy clothing. She's not hiding her true essence and is being unapologetically herself. I got my COVID shot yesterday. The pharmacist was dressed very professionally. However, when she came out to give me my shot, I noticed that she was wearing moccasin slippers with sheepskin linings. She's a woman after my own heart, and we bonded over the fact that I was also wearing very comfortable and super ugly gardening shoes. She told me that she wears slippers all of the time now. Once she started doing this, her foot pain, which was caused by being on her feet for 10 hours a day, went away. I think this is the kind of thing that Helen has realized. She's not going to dress to try and fit into some kind of a mold. She's going to do what works for her. The Star shows that Helen has worked hard to seize the opportunities that she's been presented with. We can see her pouring jugs of water. Water jugs are very heavy, and this is not easy. She's also doing it at night, so I believe that she's put in a lot of hours beyond the traditional 9 to 5 that many of her colleagues work. Notice that the pond is full of ripples. Some tarot scholars believe that the Star is based on Narcissist, a Greek myth about a man who falls in love with his reflection in a pool and drowns staring at his own reflection. In this case, the pool has too many ripples for Helen to see her reflection. This means that vanity has no place in her world. She's focused on achieving her goals. There are 8 stars in the sky. All have 8 points and can represent diamonds, which symbolize the pure, clear core of the soul. Diamonds are indestructible and represent the fact that we can't destroy the essence of someone's soul. This indicates that Helen made it to this point in her career without losing herself. The 7 smaller white stars represent her chakras. White is the symbol of purity. The chakras represent the flow of energy through her body and shows that she is physically, emotionally, and spiritually balanced. The large yellow star is the same star from the Hermit's lantern that lights the way in the darkness. Yellow is the color of wisdom, confidence, and spirituality. This star represents that Helen is in touch with her core essence and also relies on spiritual guidance. Overall, I believe that Helen will be a star in her career. This is due to her hard work and the fact that she is physically, emotionally, and spiritually balanced. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, and it will also help me to grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Card number 3 looks at the outcome of her career in 5 years. Helen drew the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles indicates that Helen's career will turn out well. She seems to have it all: considerable wealth, a happy family, a lovely house, and she's making time to enjoy it all. 10s represent completion. Helen has achieved her goals, and we can see that her career has progressed from the 6, where she was struggling to make balanced decisions and feeling some level of imposter syndrome, to success in the 10. Her luxurious home, along with the gorgeous cloak on the grandfather, shows that she's achieved financial success. The fact that we see 3 generations indicates long-term success that benefits her family. We also see Helen enjoying her life. She's not working alone during the night and lugging heavy jugs of water, as we saw in the star card. Helen is now dancing and spending time with loved ones. She has a support system, and her lovely home indicates safety and security. Overall, I think Helen will be extremely successful in 5 years. So let's summarize. Helen wanted to know what her career would be like in 5 years. Card number 1, the 6 of Pentacles, looked at the challenges that Helen will face in her career. These include making tough and potentially unfair decisions, dealing with imposter syndrome, and trying to balance her work-life balance. Card number 2, the Star, looked at the opportunities that Helen will face in her career. Helen has worked hard and figured out how to be her true self. She has been able to stay true to herself and be physically, emotionally, and spiritually balanced. Card number 3, the 10 of Pentacles, looks at the outcome of her career in 5 years. We see that Helen has achieved her goals. She has financial success, a support system, and a lovely home that indicates safety and security. Helen's future is extremely bright. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you've learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.